It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Project 2025 would dismantle democracy as we know it.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, other than day one."
Is a vision of implementing a startlingly authoritarian form of the U.S. government.
Same thing with the unions. They get their little 5%. They get another 2%. They get another 3%, 4%. Then all of a sudden they're making more money than the people that own the company.
Do you do larger cuts, corporate cuts?
Yeah, I was planning on doing it. In fact,
You believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no, as a principle?
there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
What's at stake here is democracy itself. It's now Donald Trump's party. And if he's elected, the consequences will be catastrophic.
Donald Trump loves to say,
Fake news.
was it fake news when Donald Trump was recorded bragging about sexually assaulting women?
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Was it fake news when Trump called Mexicans rapists?
They're rapists.
Was it fake news when Trump said he was pro-choice until right before he ran for president?
I'm very pro-choice.
Was it fake news when Trump had his clothing line manufactured in China?
They're beautiful ties.
They are great ties.
The ties are made in where? China? China. Ties are made in China.
Was it fake news when Trump said women should be punished for having an abortion?
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Was it fake news when Trump refused to defend U.S. soldiers after Putin and Russia put bounties on their heads?
It never reached my desk.
Was it fake news when Trump defended white supremacists?
Very fine people on both sides.
Was it fake news when Trump spit on the memory of John Lewis?
I don't know John Lewis. He chose not to come to my inauguration.
Do you find him impressive?
The truth is, none of it was fake news. The truth is that Donald Trump is a no-good liar.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up in the chat, please, if you can hear me. Thumbs up in the chat, please. If you can hear me okay. Can you hear me from back here? Can you still hear me? I don't mean to be too hot on this mic. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to plug in my iPad on the charger. I better plug it in. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 11:12 a.m. in the Pacific time zone in beautiful downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you all for joining me. We got some people in here, 22 watching, 19 thumbs ups. A couple of people, I think, have not hit the thumbs up button as of yet. Let's get on that. But I think first in the driver's lounge today was Mr. Bob Newell. And yes, I can hear you. Well, no, you can hear me. Someone can hear someone. I really can't hear you, Bob. But he was first, spelled funnily. Roxanne's here. Hey, Roxanne, good to see you in the driver's lounge. Thanks for coming on in. Carrie C's here. Hello, Carrie. Hey, Marsha's here. Hello, Marsha. Marsha. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Mike Mayberry's here. Says good morning, everybody. Good morning, TJ. Mike Mayberry. Could be a regular. Might be a regular now. I don't know. Gino Maynard. Greetings, everybody. Greetings, Gino Maynard. Greetings. 56 Nick Rich. Like number 12. Look at there with you with the like number 12. Jolie's here. Hello, Jolie. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on in. Being my backup. Watching my back. What should I say? Let's see. Marsha's here. Says, vote blue like I did. Save our democracy from the GQP. And I do have my ballot. It's still sitting there on my counter. I just got it out of the mail the other day. I will fill it out, get her done. Don O'Leary is here. Hey, Don, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by here in the driver's lounge. PB, hey PB, says horror of horrors. If we all had to live on the same UBI, even the business owners. That would take a lot of rethinking the way we think, I guess. Mr. Bob Newell, 2:09 p.m. So I'm about 4 minutes behind you. See if I can catch up. Wes Webb, I'm here, but cooking too. Well, there you go. You can do both. You can listen and cook. Just don't mess up the recipe. You get distracted. Hey, Marie Ali is here. Hola, yo sup? Sup? Good to see Marie Ali. Thanks for checking on in here to the driver's lounge. Let's see. Could I see the other? I kind of rearranged my signs the other day, or not the other day, just now. Actually, while that thing was playing. Okay, there's the other Harris one. It's right behind my head. I might have to rethink that placement. But anyhow, Mr. Bob Newell, yo trucker, sup? Sup? Steven Sayers is here. Oh yeah, I'm getting the thumbs ups. Roxanne, Carrie C, everyone, because everyone can hear me. Gotta thank you for those, for the feedback there. Mike Mayberry, not great. Well, I hope things will get better for you. Gina Maynard says a thumb up. What? Sorry. Just up in the air. Let's not get too graphic. Marshall, I can hear you, John. Thank you, Marshall, for that feedback. PB, plug it in. Plug it in. The iPad. Is that what I was talking about? The iPad. I just now put the charger, plugged in the charging cord. We're down to 50%. We've lost 1%, so hopefully it'll last for the next couple hours. It probably will. Mr. Bob Newell, that microphone is micro-sized like you've never seen. In all fairness, it is a lavalier, I guess. They're supposed to be small, but you get what you get, and you work with what you got. You work with what you got, Marie Ali, I can hear you, but the birdies are battling you. Are you hearing birds? Because I don't hear any birds. So maybe the birds are on your porch or something. I don't know. PB, voters rock. Rock the vote. 56 Nitros. Can we stay on topic? Not John, us. Is there a topic? Marie Ali says schools in Southern California apparently have drop boxes on campus. That's convenient. When you're picking up your kids, drop off your ballot. Mr. Bob Newell, you were voted #1 live streamer, but the election was rigged. No, Mr. Bob Newell, it would only be rigged if I lost. How many times I got to tell you that? Hey, there's Tom. Good to see Tom. Says, anyone here, if this is true, did Trump drop the R word in an attack on Harris? I didn't hear that, but I would not doubt it. PB, yeah, I think we need to rethink capitalism. I don't have a problem with capitalism per se. It can't be unregulated. It can't be untethered. There needs to be consumer protections and market protections. There needs to be more emphasis on fair trade as opposed to just all-out free trade. There's lots of schools of thought on that, I suppose. PB, and the pyramid scheme it gives us. It's not a pyramid scheme. There are pyramid schemes, but capitalism I don't think isn't a pyramid scheme if it's done right. If it's done along the lines of, say, an Elizabeth Warren, the way Elizabeth Warren, if she could do whatever she wanted and she could place all of her ideas and about regulations and things, it would probably be a pretty good system. Mike Mayberry, my band has a big show tonight. I should have slept in, laugh it out loud. Well. Maybe you can catch a nap in between. I don't know. West Webb, frozen Swedish meatballs and a baked potato. I prefer my Swedish meatballs to be heated up. I don't like them frozen. Ria Ali birdies are liking the popcorn. Okay. My backyard. Oh, okay. All right then. I guess we cleared that up. Yeah, I guess they do like popcorn. Nick Rich says that some moron was heard saying shit about Detroit. What an idiot. Yeah, and he was actually in Detroit talking to people who lived in Detroit at a Detroit function. Can you believe that? Gina Maynard wants popcorn now. I had some popcorn yesterday. Jolie says, Mike Mayberry, I listened to some of your music. I really love the Ode to Zero song. Mike Mayberry, I listened to, I watched one of the videos, and I was really impressed. I liked it. I forget which song it was, but they're pretty good. If you guys want to check out Mike Mayberry's band, they're pretty good. Joseph Winnie's here in the driver's lounge. Thanks you for checking us out and hanging out over here in the old driver's lounge. Joseph Winnie, thanks for being a member. I see your snazzy little member badge there. It's a picture of my truck, my old truck. He says, hey everyone, I had a great birthday yesterday, 64, and many more. Hey, Joseph Winnie, welcome to the Club 64. Welcome to the club. I just turned 64. Also, just a couple weeks ago, I guess. Or how long has it been? I guess about 9 days ago. So yeah, welcome to the club. It's it is what it is. Not too many perks, but hey, I guess it's better than the alternative. So. Steven Sayer says, has anyone been to the full-size Ark in Kentucky? I've never been there. I don't really intend on going there. I've seen ads. An ad played. I was watching something. I think it was a baseball game, and they had it was one of the playoff games from one of the teams that's back east. So I guess they played these sort of. I was getting these regional ads because I never got these ads, and it was about the Ark, like in Tennessee or wherever the fuck it is, Kentucky, and it was funny as fuck. I mean, like, come and see the Ark, it was just so stupid. Anyhow, whatever. Hey man, if that's your thing, that's your thing, whatever. It looks corny and stupid. Just saying. PB, lots of schools are cheating. Lots of schools of cheating. Okay. Tom says maybe wealth caps. Maybe that's a thing that people talk about. I'm not sure about that, but I don't mind a wealth tax. Elizabeth Warren talks about that. Hey, David Willer's here. Hey, good to see you, Dave. In the driver's lounge here as we just mingle about in the driver's lounge. Dave Windler says, hi, Don, Roxanne, Jolie, John, Kamala. I almost messed that up, didn't I? Kamala should say COVID machines given to Putin instead of tests. Yeah, that does need to be clarified. And Hal does, he does a good job of clarifying that. And he's really, I think, the only one, other than Trucker John, that makes that clarification and makes it clear that these are not, Trump wasn't just sending this little test kits and going, here you go. No, he was sending the machinery, the multi-thousands of dollars and tens of thousands of dollar machinery, the machinery that hospitals here in America were scrambling to get and couldn't get. They couldn't get enough. They couldn't find enough of them. And we had people dying in hospitals, and they were stacking the bodies up. And Trump was doing this kind of shit, sending these machines to fucking Russia. I mean, aren't they the America First crowd? Isn't that their whole fucking spiel? It's always America First, and whenever we send money to Ukraine, or we send money some sort of foreign aid, because we have a foreign aid budget and we send some foreign aid or whatever, the first thing they fucking do is they cry about America first, America first. Why don't we take care of America first? Well, MAGA, there's your fucking guy. Right there. Okay, there's your guy. You own him. You own it. Own it, MAGA. Your guy there, your Donald Trump, is a fucking... Not only is he a traitor, but he's a fucking huge hypocrite and a liar and a grifter. Stephanie B2's here. Hello, Stephanie. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. I hope that everything's going well with you. PB, the planet matters more than capitalism. The planet cannot sustain capitalism. It cannot sustain unfettered, unchained, unregulated capitalism. Maria Ali, correction, clarification. I was referring to colleges. Southern California have Cali have drop boxes. Well, that's good. I think that's a good thing. When the parents are picking up their college students, no, I'm just kidding. But they can the college kids can drop their ballots off in the boxes, and then they can go get some free rubbers and I don't know. All right, enough of that. Hey, Whisper Mason's here. It will just disappear if you look a second time, but the third time it'll be there. I have no idea what you're talking about. None whatsoever. PB says I should probably go. I love you guys. Well, okay, fine. I mean, we're allowed to have differences of opinions, PB. We are allowed to disagree. And if you can't handle that, then, I'm sorry to see you go. But we are entitled to our opinions here on the Trucker John Driver's Lounge. Jolie's giving the YouTube link to Mike Mayberry's great music by Callo Roos. Yeah, thanks for that link. That's go check that out. There's some great videos, great music videos there of the band, Mike Mayberry's band. March from Noah's Ark is a myth. I know. And Mayberry says you're supportive. Thanks for checking it out. Yeah, check them out. It's very, very good. Arizona Sunflowers, hey, Trucker John, sir. Hope you're having a great day. I am having a great day. Thus far. I like to speak in the old English every now and then. Thus far, I haveth the greatest days. To make it old English, all you gotta do is put F's on the end of everything. Hey, Never Fear Fancy's here. Hey, Fancy, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Mary T, I think Mary T is our friend from Ireland. Says, what about you, Trucker John? What happened to sparklers? They're here. They're probably, most of the people in here are probably sparklers, I'd say. As far as I know, they're doing good. Maria Ali says, Gino Manor, you're welcome to join in with the spoiled backyard birdies. Keep the anxiety thoughts away. You've been spoiling the birds with the popcorn, huh, Maria? Now they expect it. Now they're like, if you don't show up with the popcorn, you're gonna be sitting there. They're gonna be tapping their little talons and going, "Where's the popcorn? Hey, popcorn lady, where's the popcorn? We need our fix of popcorn." Stephanie B2 says, saying hi to Jolie and Roxanne. Stephanie says, I'm playing with my puppy right now, so I can't chat very much. Yeah, get some good puppy loving in there. Got to get that in. Arizona Sunflower says, we're here, but we need a nickname for Trucker John's site. Well, I don't know about the site, but many have called the folks that hang out here trucklers. Kind of a play on sparkler, truckler, right? Yeah, we've had that going around for a while. West Webb says, just listen to A Rainy Night in Georgia, Mike Mayberry. Very nice. A Rainy Night in Georgia. Thank you very much, y'all. Thank you. Mr. Bob Newell, is Don Drysdale still playing? Up in heaven. Yes, up there in the field of dreams, land of heaven baseball players. Nicholas says, will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? How about when you're older? Nope, 64 is it. That's the cutoff. After that. Maria Ali says, talk about how Jessica Garlick ripped on Trumpy's Bible scam. Ooh, I didn't hear about that. Do tell, Maria Ali. Do tell. Arizona Sunflowers. Hi, my lovely friend, Maria Ali. We'll have to try to make it thrice. Once. Twice. 3 times, lady. I'm just gonna skip on down here a little bit because I know I am off. I know I'm behind. Tom asks, how often do Trump and Putin talk? Oh, I'm sure it's nightly. It's like, how you doing? Oh, hi, it's me. Hey, Pooty Poos, it's me. It's Donnie. I'm sure it's a nightly little thing, you know. Hey, William's here. Hello, William. Good to see you. Hegemony. Haven't seen Hegemony in a while. Hey, thanks for coming on in here. I can't be more pissed about Trump. His followers, on the other hand, you can be more pissed about it, I guess. Apparently. Hegemony. I just like saying it. I just like saying that name. Hegemony. Janelle Walker's here. Hey, Janelle. Thanks for joining us in the driver's lounge. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. We got 43 watching, but only 38 thumbs up. So the math does not add up, folks. That math just does not add up. Maria Ali, you, Trucker John, you. Me what? Mr. Bonul, Trump treats the golf, women, and business. He's a cheater in all aspects of life, I would say. Mr. Badu, what your shirt say? My shirt says you and me. You and me. It's you and me. It also says LFG. And then it says Warren. Look at, and I was talking about Elizabeth Warren. This is her old campaign thing from 2020 or whatever it was. LFG means let's fucking go. As in, let's get the vote out. Let's get up off our butts and vote. Let's get up off our butts and let's tell everybody to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Mike H is here. Hey, good to see old Mike H. Joel the Troll, as I like to call him. CR is here. Hello, CR. Mike Williams just watched Bon Jovi new video. He's supporting Harris Walz. All right, cool. I was getting a little worried about Bon Jovi. I'd seen some things like a few years ago that he seemed like he was kind of going a little bit righty, right? A little bit, just a little bit. I was getting kind of worried, but now it seems like he's coming back. And I know he's been doing great stuff with, like, doesn't he have some restaurants where it's like you just pay what you can pay, and if you can't pay, you don't pay, and that's kind of a cool thing, But yeah, I mean, he's supporting Harris Walz, so awesome. And by all accounts, I guess he seems like a really nice guy, a really good guy. But I'm just saying, I was a little bit worried about him because, like, I'm talking about a few years ago. Like, I remember just seeing some things he posted or something that just seemed a little like he was going off to the dark side a little bit. But looks like he's back. He's back, and we're glad to have him. Mary T says, "'Tis me watching from west of Ireland." All right. Paul Sharkey Mannion from right over by there, across the pond, over there in England. Paul Sharkey Mannion says, "Hence far is proper English." Hence far. Thank you very much, Paul, for educating me. For educating me. Letting me know. Shoshana McHenry says, hi, Blue Heart. Hello, Shoshana McHenry. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. And I really do hope that you'll subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff and hang out with us. Maybe become a regular. You just never know. Arizona Sunflower says, loved your show of the buildings imploding and the smoke and fireworks. Maybe we we could be called truck drivers. Well, that is if you become a member, that is the sort of the base level layer of you would be a driver. So yeah, that's a good idea. Drivers, we got drivers in the drivers lounge. Marcia says, Mike Williams, that's great to hear that Bon Jovi is supporting Harris Walls. Yeah, that is great to hear. Mike Mayberry, I'm not the same Mike Mayberry that's in the Slow Hands band. I'm the other one. In case anyone was wondering, I think there was some confusion. So thanks for clearing that up, Mike. Let's see. West Webb. Hey, Maria Ali and Mike H. I've been cooking. Now I'm eating. That's usually how it goes. That's the proper order to do it. I'm about 5 minutes behind, according to Nick Rich, right now, and Bob Newell, who may be the same. They might be the same people. Jolie, what are you wearing? I know. I'm like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? Oh, it's Elizabeth Warren. Oh, okay, nice. Tom says, I find it funny. MTG says global warming is a hoax, but they control the weather. Laughing out loud. They're just all over the place with their shit, right? With their bullshit. Hedge enemy. It used to be hedge enemy. Big change. That's why I probably didn't recognize you for a minute there. I didn't see the change, so therefore I didn't recognize you. Mr. Bob Newell, Amazon sells Ozium. Fancy says, "What's Ozium?" Ozium. That's from a conversation we had in the last show. It's about it takes away odors. Like, because someone was asking if there were stinky people in my car, and I was talking about the people who had really strong marijuana smells, and all of it because they were apparently very heavy into the marijuana. And someone suggested Ozium, and you can get Ozium where you can buy it, all that kind of stuff. And it's supposed to just take away the odor like immediately. But then someone said that it gets baked into the windows or something. So I'm like, I don't think I want that. And really, the problem is so rare that I don't know if I really need it. Yeah, air cleaner spray. Tom says, Bon Jovi probably owed taxes. Laughing out loud. Just kidding. Maria Ali says that Trucker John Dodgers. You could see since Game 4 of the Padres' faces something happened. It was obvious as fuck. They got hit with some news of some sort, almost like someone died or got cut. I didn't notice that. I just noticed they got their asses whooped by the Dodgers. Last night at post-game, Kiki Hernandez was being interviewed by Ken Rosenthal, and Kiki said the F word very intentionally. It wasn't a slip. He said, because Ken Rosenthal asked him something like, "What?" I don't know, something about like how could you guys come back? What changed after that Game 2 loss or whatever? And then Kiki goes, "Are we live? Are we live?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Because we don't give a fuck." I'm not really sure what he meant. I'm not really sure why he said it. I'm not really sure why he was so adamant about wanting to say the F word on national TV. I'm not really. I mean, I don't know. It came off kind of weird to me. I mean, I understand. I guess like if you want to show like by actually saying that on national TV over the air, then you're not supposed to say it. And now I guess how that would be an act of rebelliousness, or I guess it emphasizes about how they don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck you're going to find me or whatever. I don't give a fuck if I'm going to get in trouble. That's our attitude. We don't give a fuck if we're losing 8-0 or if we're down 2-1. We don't give a fuck. Doesn't stop us. Ain't going to stop us from trying. We're always going to come back. I guess that's what he was trying to say, something to that extent. But I still thought it was kind of weird. I don't know. I thought it was kind of. It didn't. I don't think it had the intended impact or something that he was hoping for. I don't know. Because really, the announcer, the reporter just sort of ignored it and said, "Okay, back to you in the booth," or whatever. He's just like, "Let's get out of here." Anyhow, but Kiki's awesome. I love Kiki Hernandez. I'm glad they got him back. The Dodgers got him back. He's always in the playoffs. Got big hits, big home runs. The dude's cool. The dude's amazing. Hegemony sounds nasty, like it would be health hazard to breathe around it. As far as I know, Ozium is safe and non-toxic. It's been around for years and years and years. When the people brought it up, I hadn't really thought about it, but when it was brought up on the last show, I immediately, flashed back to it. I remember seeing it. I don't think I've ever used it, but I think I've seen it in stores before. It's been around forever. I think it's safe. I don't think it smells. I think it's odorless, and all that good stuff. So, Fancy, you should spray with Febreze between passengers. It's really not necessary. I mean, you guys, you have this image in your head that the car stinks. It does not stink. Other than that one time with those passengers, like I said, they were reeking of pot. And then there are sometimes when the ladies are a little heavy on the perfume, but some of it smells pretty nice. So I just leave it. I'm just like, hey, that's like I got some free air freshener on that one. So, but it really isn't that bad. But I used to have a bottle of Febreze that I did have in the car, and then like I said, I've changed cars so much, moving stuff in and out, that I think the Febreze. I think I still have the Febreze. I think it's in the kitchen cabinet. But I did have it in the car, and I very, very rarely, I might have squirted it maybe once or twice, and that so it's very, very rare that I need to even do anything like that. Most of the folks here, they're here to party. They're here to have a good time. A lot of them are dressed up to the nines. I'm not picking up day workers that have been pounding nails all day or whatever, for the most part. I mean, there has been a couple times where I picked up people from sporting events where they were playing like in a soccer tournament or things of this nature that were a little gamey, I admit. And that's the time maybe I could have had some Febreze in there. But a lot of times if I just roll the windows down between pickups, that's good enough too. That airs the car out really nice. So, anyhow. Mike H says, my dad's car was stolen and smoked in, and Ozium got the smell out. There you go. Marcia says, Blue Boy 666 blocked. Is that, I didn't even see that person in here. Is that, oh, there he is. Blue Boy 66 back to chat, standing up with Sparks. Okay. I don't see anything wrong with that statement. Am I misreading that? I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't know why you would block that or whatever. Anyhow, okay, whatever. Hey, man, it's your prerogative. You want to block somebody? You can block somebody. It's just a free country, man. Block whoever you want. West Webb says, my vape doesn't really smell. Maybe a little like outdoors. And that's the thing. There's no vaping allowed in my car. There's no smoking of any kind allowed in the car. So you just got to wait till you get out. Ozium, we used to use Ozium to cover pot smell. That's totally what we've been talking about the whole time, Wes. Mike Mayberry, I'm rooting for the Yankees because my dad loves them and hates the Dodgers, even though I don't mind either team. Well, it could come down to Yankees. Yankees will be playing in the ALCS against. Are they playing Cleveland? I think, right? Cleveland. That should be a good series, and then it's going to be Dodgers, Mets. So I think we've got some good games coming up here. I think we've got some good championship games coming up for all you baseball fans out there. I know a lot of people aren't. Carol Pack says, well, never knew my tub was a time machine. Me either. And I have no idea about that. Maria Ali says, my vape smells like raspberries and green apple. Had to change it from whiskey smelling one. Yeah, I think that was a wise decision to make that change. Wes Webb, he gets the expensive hookers in the Tesla Uber. I have had some expensive hookers. I know they were hookers, and very high class ones, very high dollar ones. I've had in my Tesla. Absolutely, Wes. Only the best. Trucker John says, Tom says, blows my mind. Every MAGA supporter I personally know is dependent on Medicare and food assistance, not to mention Social Security. Project 2025 plans on cutting all of it. I know. Isn't that is true, Tom? I mean, that is amazing. I have family relatives, family members, extended family, whatever you call it, who have basically been their whole life on some sort of government program, welfare, food stamps, Social Security, disability, whatever, Medicare. They've gone through the whole thing, and all they do is talk in support of Republicans. Now, whether or not they actually vote, I don't know. I think a lot of those folks don't even vote. A lot of the ones I'm talking about that I know, but some of them do. So, and then when they do vote, they vote for Republicans. They vote to cut off their nose to spite their face, or whatever the fuck that thing is. It is really it's kind of mind blowing. It's kind of mind boggling. It's kind of anything to do with the mind that fucks with it. That's what it is. 2:43, so I'm 3 minutes behind now. Okay. Mike Maybeer, stand up to Sparks. Yeah. Good luck with that one. Nick Rich says, only one friend when I started indulging in marijuana in 72 could smoke at home. Both parents were heavy smokers, and the whole house smelled like it was burning. Must have been a fun visit. Fun to visit, I guess. Marsha, I've dropped the C word a few times in here, and I apologize. I know that's a harsh one, but I have used the C word a few times over these live streams. I didn't spell it with a K. I spelled it the right way. And I have dropped that a few times, usually talking about, I think, Trump or something like that. Mike H says that I should be sponsored by Ozium. Today's show is brought to you by Peppermint Hippo. Look at there. Look at there. I got me a free Peppermint Hippo bottle of water the other day. That Peppermint Hippo is a strip club, and I took a passenger there to the strip club, and that's one of the ones where you get a driver kickback, which is really nice. I really wish I could figure out a way to just do those all night long, but so I got a $50 kickback for taking this guy to the club, but you have to go inside to get the money. Money. And when I did that, though, they gave me that bottle of water. I was like, nice, pretty nice little bottle. I like the. I think it's cool. It's almost like a little souvenir. See. So today's show brought to you by Peppermint Hippo, the Peppermint Hippo. Hey, Mr. Spock's here. Good to see you. Live long and prosper. Mr. Spock says, my son was out having a smoke the other day. He watched a drunk/stoned, wow, both, huh? With a bike and an 18-inch pizza. He was walking, then decided to get on the bike, face plant instantly, put pizza in box and leaves. I take it the pizza went flying out of the box. And he had to put it back in the box, I guess. And when you say leaves, at first I thought you meant he just left, like he left. Or were there actually like leaves? No. Hey, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that must have been actually kind of funny to see. Paul Shargamanian is saying hello and with hearts to everybody, or at least to a few people there. Mike Mayberry says, Maria Ali, I grew up in SoCal, so that's why I like the Dodgers. I absolutely adore their ballpark. See the Yankees play the Angels a bunch, too, so we're all over the place. Yeah, I've been to Dodger Stadium and Angels Stadium. I grew up as a Dodgers fan, but I also grew up as an Angels fan. And the way I justify that is the Dodgers are my number one favorite team. No ifs, ands, or buts. Number one favorite team. But the Angels, the way I could, root for the Angels and like the Angels is they became my favorite American League team. So they were always below the Dodgers. The Dodgers are always up here, number one, and then the Angels were just below them. And it was cool back in those days. I mean, they didn't win a lot of games, but that's when they had Nolan Ryan. And they had Sandy Alomar Sr. I remember it was really second baseman, was a fast guy with still a lot of bases. And you go to Angel Stadium back in the late 60s and then into the 70s, you had the whole park to yourself. There was not very many people. And you could buy the cheapest seats, and they didn't really control it. And you could just go and sit behind home plate pretty much, It was pretty cool. Yeah, Blue Boy 666. It's a bunch of kind of nonsense. I don't know if we should broom them or not because this is kind of weird, like non sequitur, weird kind of stuff. I think it's harmless, I guess, but weird, nevertheless. Nevertheless, whatever it is. West Webb says, brother-in-law's parents smoke constantly. I couldn't stand to be in their house for very long at a time. I used to hate when you would go to a place like a bowling alley or a bar or whatever, and everyone's smoking, and I've never been a smoker. I mean, I did, every now and then I would maybe try a cigarette, have a cigarette here and there or whatever, but for the most part, not a smoker, not really into it. And then you go home and your fucking clothes just reek of cigarettes. Fucking hate that. It's gross. It really is gross. Or you get in somebody's car who's a smoker and they've got ashtrays are full of cigarette butts and ashes and the whole car stinks of smoke. That's why, I could never really have a girlfriend that was a smoker. I mean, I had girlfriends that smoke, but it seems like not really heavy, like not heavy smokers. More like what you call social smokers, I guess. But yeah, I'm just not into that, and I think it's gross. And that's why I was so in favor when they started doing these non-smoking laws, like not smoking areas and having smoke-free areas, because I don't think smokers realize how fucking gross they smell. Although I will say, when someone first lights up, and you kind of, I don't know if you're smelling the match or you're smelling the cigarette, that first hit, that is kind of not bad. You know what I mean? But I think it's just when you get everyone's around you, everyone's smoking, and you're just being deluged with smoke, that it gets really gross. Westwood, tobacco smell doesn't necessarily cover up marijuana. No, I think they're like these two opposing forces. They're like, Mr. Balnua, what does strip club water smell like? Well, it smells very nice. I don't know. Let me see. Completely odorless. It's completely odorless. I know you guys. I know you guys want to really. You really want to put down my strip club water. I know you're thinking all kinds of dirty things. Tim Farrell says Tom Hartman dropped the C word on his show. He was horrified. He is very strict about foul language on his show. He has to be. Yeah, that is really. I mean, I can understand like slipping and saying like shit or fuck or something maybe. But the C word, if the C word just rolls off your tongue like that, what's happening behind the cameras over there at the Tom Hartman show? I'm wondering. I'm just wondering. Roxanne Armfield, I don't believe English is Blue Boy's first language. As you have observed, he is making no sense whatsoever. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. As long as you like and subscribe, Blue Boy, I guess it's okay. And share. West Webb, hard to really tell what anybody is on. I read that pizza fell out of the box and the guy put it back in and walked away. Yeah, I was making a joke about the leaves part of it. Tony TB, because it go Dodgers. Yep. That's right, Tony TB. Go Dodgers all the way. They play tomorrow night, 5:15 p.m. Pacific time. Game 1 at Dodger Stadium against the Mets. What's this OMG thing with the Mets? I know OMG stands for oh my God, but does it stand for something different? Is it like oh Mets go or something? I mean, leave it to crazy Mets fans to come up with some weird shit. Mike Mayberry, Maria Ali. That's why I love that park. I haven't been to Petco, but I did go to previous ballpark in the 90s. In the 90s. West Webb, I used to go to LA, Simi Valley area pretty frequently. I haven't been there now many years. Never many years. Steven Sayers, I quit Dodgers when they moved to LA. Steven Sayers, no disrespect, but wow. I mean, wow. That's a long time ago, my friend. That's over 60 years ago. That's almost 70 years ago. Wow. Tim Farrell, Nolan Ryan is MAGA, sadly. I'm not surprised. You know, he's from Texas and all that shit. But he was a hell of a fucking pitcher. I gotta tell you, man. I mean, I think one of the best pitchers of all time. I mean, the guy was throwing no-hitters in his fucking 40s, you know? But if he's MAGA, then fuck him. West Webb. Blue Boy is somebody we know. So it's probably West Webb. Mr. Bob Newell, is first base the best seat to view a baseball game? You mean actually playing first base? I don't know. Paul Sharky Man and TJ, where's Pete Buttigieg? I don't know. You get if you've come here for answers to things, you're probably not going to get that. You're going to get a lot of, I don't know. Fuck if I know where the fuck Pete Buttigieg is. Washington, D.C., fucking, where was he the mayor of? In fucking Ohio or something? I have no fucking idea where Pete Buttigieg is. West Webb, I think the Blue Boy is making the chat more interesting. I'm more and more convinced that Blue Boy is Wes Webb. Was one of Wes Webb's personas, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so Maria Ellie is talking about the Chargers and stuff like that. I'm a Rams fan, so I don't really appreciate the Chargers invading my team's stadium. But I guess that's the way it goes. I guess, that's just life, the big city. Michael McAndrews is here. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the Driver's Lounge as we're talking some baseball. And Michael says our Tigers are still in the running. Are they? Are they playing today? Oh, is that still going? So it's not been decided yet. They're tied up, I guess. Detroit and Cleveland? One game to go. Okay. All right. Thanks for clarifying that. I was thinking that Cleveland had won it. So, yeah, that should be a good one. That should be a good game today. Mr. Spock, I'm a Toronto Bay Leaf fan. Mike H., the 90s was the best for me. I think the late 80s to the early 90s, just speaking to me just about my own physical well-being, my state of my physical conditioning and everything, how I felt physically. It's all physical for me. That was my best times, probably. But as far as like, I don't know, happiness or whatever, I don't know. It's right now, I guess. Maria Ali, the Mets were already flying into LA last night. Why didn't they fly into San Diego? That is quite suspicious when they said it during the game. Well, because probably, I bet you, because you could fly into LAX, and if you don't know I know you're trying to say it's fixed or something, but it's not. You could get hotels in the LA area, and if it so happens that San Diego won, it was going to be in San Diego, it's only an 80 or 90 mile drive, bus ride. That's the Dodgers do that every time they play San Diego. They just bus ride down to San Diego. It's a 90-minute drive. So they probably figured, hey, we'll get something. We'll get hotels that are in the LA area, maybe towards the a little bit southern more area, and that way they're kind of in between. That's what I would think. I guess I'm not so conspiratorial. Wes Webb, it was like the year after I was born, 1958. Yeah, something like that. So 66 years or so ago, the Dodgers moved. And if you don't want to like the Dodgers, then don't like the Dodgers. I don't really give a fuck if you don't like the Dodgers. Arizona Sunflowers, I used to smoke, so smoking doesn't bother me, except it makes me remember how good it felt to take that first puff. Yeah, I've seen people do that when they do that, and they're just like, ooh! You know what I mean? Paul Sharkey says the C word is a word of endearment in some parts of the Republic of Ireland. Example, how's it going? Yeah. But over here, it's not. Keith Polite's here. Hey, Keith says, back in the day, I'd stay in Las Vegas at the Stardust and the Frontier. Both smelled like stale cigarettes. Yeah, I remember those places. I think it was like in the carpeting, you know? It was like baked in. Maria Ali says, did you see Dodger players Kike grab third base coach balls while running home run? Then Dick bump player. I didn't see the grabbing the coach's balls, but I did see the Dick bump. That was Kike. Who did he do that with? I think was it Max Muncy or I forget now who he did that with. I thought it was funny. I just saw that. I just laughed. So Steve Sears got to go. Damn joints. Love you people. Trucker John. Hey Steve, thanks for being here. You're probably gone already because I'm probably 10 minutes behind. But thanks for being here. Nevertheless, and we hope to see you on the next one, which might be Tuesday. I don't think I'm going to do a Monday's members only Monday this Monday. I know I'm going to be busy that day, but we might try to do something, maybe a late show. I don't know, but the next regularly scheduled one will be Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Westwood, I promise it isn't. As far as that blue boy being him, actually, I don't think it is you. I was just sort of joking, and then maybe if it does happen to be you, I can say, "See, I knew that was you." But it does seem to be a little bit kind of like not your style. So, anyhow, Mr. Spot Canada is very liberal, even to the point of naming 2 CFL teams the same pro-gay name. Rough Riders, leave it to Canadians. Mike Mayberry says, this day and age, there shouldn't be football teams playing on baseball diamonds. Get their own stadiums. Are there still teams playing on baseball diamonds? Football teams on baseball diamonds? I guess there are. I don't know. Hey, Fancy gifted a membership. Thanks, Fancy. Thanks for doing that. That's really awesome of you to do that. Keith Polite was the recipient of that membership. So thank you so much, Fancy. Bruce is here, says Johnny. Hey, Bruce. Thanks for being here. Don't know if I've ever seen Bruce before, but welcome to the Driver's Lounge, and I hope that you will stick around. Like, subscribe, and share, all that good stuff. Bob Newell, should I split a pair of 8s? You always split your 8s and your aces. Everyone knows that, Mr. Bob Newell. Everyone knows you split your 8s and your aces. It's just how you do it. It's been said. I've heard. Someone told me you always split your 8s and your aces. All right. Maria Lee, I know that, Trucker John. I'm in San Diego. I know, but you were trying to make it sound like it was some sort of conspiracy that like the game was fixed because the Mets knew what the outcome was going to be. That's how I took what you were saying. Maybe I read that all wrong, and if I did, I apologize. Arizona Sunflower says, I'm not a believer anymore either. I think if you live as long as I have, you just know there's not some sky savior, in my humble opinion. I think that, we believe what we want to believe. We believe because we would really like, I think it's kind of human nature. It's part of our ego, maybe. I don't know. That we don't want to die. We want to live forever. And so if we do die, from here, which we know we will, I think it's a nice thing to think that we're going to go to some other place that's nice, like heaven, whatever our imagining of heaven is, and it's going to be nice and like pain-free and disease-free and age-free and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's where a lot of this originated from. Like, we just can't accept the fact that when we die, it's just lights out, game over, boom, that's it. And I don't blame human beings for thinking that or having these thoughts of afterlife and what the afterlife would be like. I think it's natural, normal human behavior to think that. But But I guess the part where it becomes dangerous is when, you know, people get fanaticized and when they become fanatics. And it's like you have to believe the way I believe and the way my church believes, the way my religion is, or else, you know, you are, I don't know what I mean, depending on how radical they are. I mean, there are Muslims that behead people because they made a cartoon about Allah or whatever, and there are Christians that, there are probably examples of Christians doing similar type things, like really extreme, radical, fanatic Christians. It's very extreme. It's very rare, but I'm just saying. But even to a lesser extent, just saying like America is a Christian country, and if you don't believe the way we believe, then you're wrong or whatever. I mean, that's when religion gets on my nerves, is when other people try to enforce their religion, their beliefs onto other people. And that's not the way it should be, especially in America. It's supposed to be a free country. It's supposed to be where we have freedom of choice and freedom of religion, freedom to believe what we want to believe. We can believe there is a God. We can believe there is no God. We can be, devout believers in an afterlife and in a God and a supreme being. And we can also be fucking stone cold, atheists. We have that right. And no one should interfere with one's beliefs in those areas. That's all I got to say about that. Hey, Delta Don's here. Hey, y'all, I'm late. Just got home. Hey, but like I always said, and like I said, my daddy always told me, better late than never. He didn't say it with that accent. He was from Minnesota, for God's sake. But he would say, better late than never. And I live by that little saying, better late than never. So, because sometimes I might think, no, it's too late. I don't want to go now. It's just too late. But then when I go, even though I'm late, I usually end up having a good time. And I'm like, damn, I'm glad I came. I'm glad even though I was late, I'm glad I went ahead and made it anyhow. And everyone forgave me for being late. They didn't even seem to notice. And we had a great time. So, Delta Dawn, better late than never. I'm glad you made it. And you can hang out with us here in the driver's lounge for however much longer it'll be. Probably another hour. You're only we're like the halfway point here. And, and I haven't even got to my little graphics and stuff yet. Marsha says, I enjoy your channel content, Trucker John. Thank you, Marsha. And I hope I don't say anything that pushes anyone away. Sometimes I have my opinions and they might not, line up with yours. And I don't mean to push people away. But like I said, we're all entitled to our opinions here. But we just, let's keep it civil. Now, I don't know. I don't know about this Blue Boy 666 guy. It probably would be nice if we just would say something of some substance instead of just like one line non sequiturs, or they're not exactly non sequiturs, but I don't know, whatever. Keith Philippe, do you do anything to mark the Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day? Are you talking to me? You talking to me? Or are you talking to somebody else in the chat? For Columbus Day, all I do is I enjoy the day off. I mean, I don't go to Columbus Day parades. On Facebook, there's been a few years where I've posted stuff about like indigenous stuff, or in support of Native Americans. But lately, it seems like I don't even do any stuff for holidays and stuff. Whatever. Whatever. I don't. There's a whole thing on that, and whatever. I'm at the stage of my life. I think I'm at the whatever stage of my life. I don't know. Bruce, I was there last week. Where were you, Bruce? I kind of skipped down, so I don't know or exactly what we're talking about. But where were you? Were you in LA? Were you in Vegas? Bruce. Robert Perez is here, by the way. Says, do you want to see a 1981 rematch of the Dodgers and Yankees, Johnny? Well, you know what? I think that would be great. It's always exciting, Dodgers, Yankees. But because I don't really care about no disrespect to the fans of these teams. I don't really care about Detroit or Cleveland. I don't really care about the Yankees either. But the Yankees are iconic, and so that would be a great matchup. You have Aaron Judge on the Yankees, Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers. I think it would be a great matchup, and it's always that New York LA thing is always everyone want, or at least the networks always want that because they think those are the two biggest media markets in the country, and so for them it's like an advertising dream come true, like the rates they can charge because it's a ratings thing, right? But yeah, that would be cool. I think it'd be a good series. Mr. Spock, Freddie Mercury, who wants to live forever? Rest in peace, Freddie. I like Freddie Mercury. I like Queen. I always like them. Maria Ali says there's a whole podcast that's dedicated to that subject with psychic mediums, religious leaders, and people with NDE. I don't know what that is. Just saying, if you're interested, I can find the page and put name in the chat. To be quite honest, I'm not really interested, unless you're talking to somebody else. I really think that that's all a bunch of, is it bullpucky? What is it saying? Well, something pucky. It's some kind of pucky. I think it's all fake and a sham. It's an amazing trick. It's a magic trick, I think, but it can be amazing or can be done with gimmicks and devices. I don't really believe any of it. Marsha says, religion to each their own. Please keep it separate from government and public schools. Exactly, Marsha. It can be taught at a place of worship, parochial schools, and at home. There you go. Exactly. Cian's here. Hey, Cian, over there from the Netherlands, I believe. Says, hello, peeps. My keyboard is exploding, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. It takes too long. Right? Sorry, can't chat. ITJ mods. Hi, Cian. Thank you so much for coming in and doing what you could do. Like, subscribe, share, hang out. You can lurk for a bit. Maria Ali says, I was invited to a prayer meeting at the neighbor's house last night. Passed. Then interestingly enough, a convo with roomies about religion pushed on, and the pressuring plus judgment, etc., comes along with it. Wow. So you had a conversation, you read comes about religion, and then they were pressuring you to be in their religion or something? I think it's complex, but I still think believe what you want to believe and respect my right to believe what I want to believe. That's all I ask. I mean, I ask for other stuff too, but that's kind of the main thing I ask when we're talking about religion, I guess. Nick Rich says, if you don't have faith in yourself, then it's wasted on an unknown entity. That's heavy, man. That's so heavy. Robert Perez, Columbus was a dick. I know. You're right. And if we really get into the history of it, and he never did step on the shores of northern, what's now known as North America or whatever. I mean, he made it as far as the West Indies, I believe. I think that's as far as he got. And basically, raped and murdered and turned into slaves, as everyone he found, probably. Yeah, So I would say he's even more than a dick. Absolutely. And then it brought on the onslaught, of course, of European settlers coming all the way to North America. But it is what it is. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that, probably. I would not exist. But hey, but then I wouldn't know that it didn't exist. So I get what. Mike Maybear says Repubs are fucking with the polling in effort to convince Trumpsters they were robbed when Trumpy loses. I convinced it's all part of his plan to steal the election through lies and stacked courts. He has those plans. I don't think they're going to succeed. I really don't. I think it's going to fail just like it failed in 2020. In 2021, Gen 6 and all that shit. I think it's all going to fail and fall apart. But they're going to make the effort, that's for sure. They're going to give it the good old college try. So we need to be on our toes. We need to be vigilant. And we need to make sure that we vote in huge numbers, big blue tsunami numbers. Let's see. Paul Shargaman, I thought the Vikings discovered America. We are all just space dust. The thing about the Vikings is they landed here in some boats. And I guess this was pre-Columbus, right? I think they just landed here. They probably raped and pillaged a few Indian tribes, maybe. I don't know. Grabbed some shit, and then they went home. And they really didn't tell anybody about it. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't think it was really like made the headline news or whatever. When Columbus, who I believe was sailing a Spanish for the Spaniards, I believe, wasn't it? Refresh my memory. I'm pretty sure Columbus was being financed by the Queen of Spain because I think he'd been kicked out of Italy because he was. I think he was a failure, a failed ship person. Somehow he got the Queen of Spain to back him. I think if I'm remembering correctly. And then, there was this onslaught of more ships coming afterwards and actually getting into America and all that shit. And it was like big news because they realized, hey, there's lots of resources here that we want to fucking take. Look at all these trees, or whatever. Look at all this stuff we can grow or what, So, the Vikings were kind of so low key about it. Like, yeah, no one didn't really make the headline news of the day. I don't think. I'm not even sure if they even knew where they were at least globally speaking. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. I bet you Mr. Spock knows all that shit. I got a feeling. Keith Fleet says, I'm still waiting on you incorporating a live CB portion of your show. Well, don't hold your breath, Keith. Number one, because I forget shit. As soon as the show's over, I forget all the shit that I'm supposed to do. And number two, there was a whole thing involved. I had to get my CB, which is somewhere in a box. And then I got to get an antenna. But someday, Keith, but thank you for reminding me, though, because I think that would be kind of fun. So if I ever come across my CB and I hook it up and I'm able to hook it up, I will do that. So thank you. Every now and then, maybe not every show, but maybe every now and then, maybe every few weeks, maybe drop a reminder and it may happen someday because I think that would be kind of fun, actually. And just see if I can even pick anything up from here. Arizona Sunflower says it's an old saying before people said bullshit so frequently. Oh, bullpucky. You were right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought so. Bullpucky. Robert Perez says no CB. I guess Robert does not like the CB idea. I don't know. Marsha Webb says, or Marsha, I don't know why I said Marsha Webb because Wes Webb. Okay. Marsha is saying to Wes Webb, after decades of believing, daily prayers, etc., I decided to study the 66 books of the Christian Bible, several types, including the nearly 80 books in the Catholic Bible. I was free. I was free. Freedom is just another word. I don't know. I'm free. I'm free. All right. So George Carlin says, I follow the original of George Carlin. I need money. I need money. Oh, Roxanne Arfield, Horse Pucky was always a favorite too. Oh yeah, yeah, Horse Pucky, Bull Pucky, Pucky. Mr. Spock, I toured Columbus's house in the Dominican. Jim J says yes. Columbus discovered the Caribbean or the Caribbean, however you want to say it, and then murdered everybody. Nice guy. Nice guy. This Columbus, nice guy. But be ashamed something bad happened to your island. There. Yeah. Mike H, watch out. Mike H says, "Watch out for bursting pipes, TJ." Okay, not sure where that came from, what that was in reference to, but alrighty then. Janelle Walker says yes. See, that's when I get behind in the chat. I'm like 10 minutes behind. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. West says King Ferdinand and Queen Isabel. Were they was Isabella Spanish? Doesn't that sound Italian? Of course, I don't know. Maybe she was Italian and she got married into the Spanish thing. I don't know. Isabella. Was she Spanish? Was she the Spanish queen? Do I have that right? I think that's what Janelle is saying. Maybe I got it right. Boy, it says MJ Daniel, and Irish monks too, and the Chinese, and there is some evidence the Egyptians were trading with the Mayans or Aztec, not sure which. Yeah, there was. I've heard of all those stories about someone may have landed here, they may have landed there, blah blah blah. So yeah, Columbus gets a lot of credit that maybe he did not deserve. Undeserved credit. Personally, I like just giving it to the Vikings because I'm roughly half Norwegian, and as a little kid, I always I would identify with Vikings. That's why I like Thor, the comic book Thor, and I kind of like the Minnesota Vikings, even though the Rams were always my favorite team. So I bought into that whole, being Norwegian is like Vikings, and I kind of glossed over the raping and pillaging part of it and the murdering part of it, and just kind of, I guess glommed on to the big Vikings with the horn things and with their swords, and that it was all a friendly fight, I guess. Mike Mayberry says, "Hey TJ, what was your favorite cartoon growing up?" My favorite cartoon? I don't know. My very favorite one. What did I watch? I like Bugs Bunny. Probably Bugs Bunny cartoons were my favorite. Roadrunner and Coyote. That whole Bugs Bunny hour. They used to do. Well, you're maybe not probably you're not as old as I am, but they used to have the Saturday morning Bugs. I think they had the Bugs Bunny cartoon morning or whatever. So they had Bugs Bunny, and then they would do a lot of those, I guess, were those Warner Brothers, and it was like Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd. So I liked those, but I liked Tom and Jerry. I liked when I was a little bit older, not real older, but 9, 10 years old. I think it was Spider-Man. I really liked Spider-Man cartoon a lot. I kind of like the Wacky Racers. Remember the Wacky Racers? I liked that a lot. Let's see. There's probably a few others, but I think my favorite all time was probably Bugs Bunny. And here's David Willer says, "John, you can get a 100-watt CB amplifier." I'll look into that someday, Dave, and was it Keith? Thanks for reminding me. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I think I might do it. Although Robert Prince has no CB, so. But yeah, we might do that. It's just a little something to do. See how it works out. But like I said, don't hold your breath on it. It might take me a while to get my shit together. And I need to start putting a pad and a pen here next to me, and I could write little notes and to remind because really I shut the show off and I'll forget all this shit. So Mike H, happy freedom, people. Thank you very much, Mike H. Happy freedom. Marsha, last comment concerning religion, done. Hey, that's fine. I know talking about religion can get touchy. It can be tricky and touchy. I don't want anyone to feel like but you can't talk about what you want to talk about. You can talk about what you want to talk about. Mr. Spock, no, that's pretty accurate, TJ, worth of drunk history. I should do that sometime. I should probably get drunk and do my own drunk history. Just for shits and giggles. We'll do the CB show and then we'll do the drunk history show. Oh, I think I can hear someone's microwave beeping. I think. I guess I'm about 5 minutes behind chat, according to Nick Rich. Janelle says Spain sent Columbus. Yeah. See there? So, blame the Spanish. MJ Daniel, I read a book called The Bible as History about 30 years ago. Used archaeologist digs to compare the Bible to. Very interesting. That does sound interesting, actually. I think that's very interesting stuff. Hey, there's David in Grand Prairie, Texas. Good to see David. Thanks for being here, by the way, Dave. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for dropping on in here to the Driver's Lounge. Driver's Lounge. It says, Dave in Grand Prairie says, berserkers for a mascot would work nowadays, maybe. What's a berserker? Mr. Spock, easier to distill the gold. Yeah, I guess if you murder everybody, then it's easy to just distill all the shit. I guess that's what you're talking about. Mike Mabry, I'm 44. I love the 60s Spider-Man the most. Yeah. Me too. I like that a lot. Mr. Bob Newell, does Disney have a presence in Vegas? They do not. But there's been talks and grumblings about them coming here. And a lot of people are like, this is Vegas. This is Sin City. We don't want fucking Disney here. But things are changing. Things are evolving. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney comes here at some point. Bruce Hillbilly Bears. Alrighty then. Paul Sharkymanian, did the Egyptians build the first pyramid, or was it ancient Mexicans? You're talking about the Mayan temples and all that kind of stuff? We all know that was space aliens that helped them with that shit. Right? Right? Am I right? Myra Little, hey Myra, good to see you. Thanks for coming into the Driver's Lounge. Myra Little says, did you ever watch Doctor Who as a kid? It terrified me. I never did get into Doctor Who. I know people are big Doctor Who fans. I think I've watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes 10 or 15 years ago, like on the Sci-Fi Channel or whatever channel that was on. And I just never got into it. So I'm sure it's a great show and everything, but maybe someday. The great thing about streaming and all that kind of stuff is the shows are there. Like right now, I'm right now on Netflix. I'm rewatching Prison Break for some reason. It was on my Netflix. I'm going through my list that has been compiled for the last 10 years or whatever or more on my Netflix that I've never gotten around to, and I'm kind of going through that. And I remember I did watch, I think, the first at least 2 seasons of as it was happening, like back in 06 and 07. I actually watched it on TV, on the regular TV. And then I think I started driving more. I was on because I remember in '08 I really started getting on the road a lot more, and I was gone all the time. So I think that's when uh, I missed the next 2 seasons because I think there was 4 seasons, and then they brought it back for one season in 2017. Then I did my little research on it. I was just wondering how many seasons there were. I'm pretty sure I saw the first 2 seasons, and then I didn't see anything after that. So now I'm rewatching. I already finished season 1, and now I'm about halfway through season 2. And I got to tell you, it's a good show. It's a really good show because I love the cast. I think it's a great cast of characters, and they're all really good. But it's so ridiculous. I mean, there's almost nothing in that show that could happen in real life, I don't think. But that's okay because it's not supposed to be a documentary. It's not supposed to be a true story or truthful to how things would really be. Other than the fact that they are in a prison and there are people that shank each other and there are guys that are fucking each other and all that kind of shit. That shit's real. But all the stuff, the escaping and the plan, and all this stuff that happens and the way the way the government has this big conspiracy thing and the way the FBI is running and the CIA and all this really weird shit. I don't believe any of that shit. I mean, the way that they're showing it here. I mean, it's all even just the procedures, the court procedures, all this shit is bullshit in this story. It's all bullshit, but it's fun as fucking hell. It's fun as hell to watch it. Because it is this. It's beautifully paced. They're always kind of keeping you on the edge of your seat. So that's why I love the show. And so anyhow, I was talking about streaming. So I'm just now catching up on Prison Break, which is started in I think '06 and '07 or something like that, or '05. I don't know. So it's been almost 20 years. It's hard to believe, right? But since that show first came on, it's been 17, 18 years, whatever. And so I guess my point about that was about the Doctor Who. I could always go back and watch Doctor Who at some point. I don't know if I ever will, but I'm just saying the possibility is there. Who knows? I'm going to drink some of my strip club water. That's good stuff. It's good shit, man. And yes, when I went in there to get my money, I was doing a little. Is it oogling or ogling? I guess ogling. I was doing a little ogling, not too much. I was being, I'm pretty sly. I can be pretty sly, but I was doing a little ogling as I walked. Because when you go to they have a cage, like a little money cage or whatever, and you kind of walk by and you can see the stage and you can see the girls and stuff. And I did very, very slyly do a little ogling. I gotta just full disclosure, okay, full disclosure on that. So I got a little free peek, a little thing there, and a bottle of water, so and $50 cash. It was all good. It was all good. Let's see. I'm going to skip down a little bit here. Mrs. Bachman spoken loco weed again. That loco weed. West Webb, the Europeans thought that there was a whole lot more gold than there actually was. They sure were into the gold, weren't they? Wasn't it Ponce de Leon? Or was he looking for the Fountain of Youth? But still, probably gold too. MJ Daniels, 60s and 70s had great Saturday morning cartoons. I was a big fan of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Hey, Rocky! Hey, Rocky! Rocky Bullwinkle show, and as well Bugs Bunny. David Greg Perry says, please do not press that berserker attitude on me. It was Webb. What's a berserker? Well, that does sound familiar. Berserkers. MJ Daniel, Doctor Who was so corny. Mike Mayberry says, have you guys heard of the new MeTV Tunes channel? Looney Tunes, Rocky Bullwinkle, Super Friends, all on there. It's really cool. I have not heard of that, but that does sound cool. If you like to watch cartoons, and those are some of the classics right there. Bruce, Hanna-Barbera cartoon, Hillbilly Bears. Oh, okay. I do. I think now. Okay, now that you mentioned that, I recall. I think I recall that. David and Grand Prairie, did you eat the dog, Mr. Bubnell? Maybe dog gives you gas. Try cat. They might be a bit less gassy. A cat might be a little less gassy. Yeah, it could be. That could be. I wouldn't know since I have not eaten either. Hey, Robin M's here. Good to see Robin. It says, laughing out. Hey there, TJ, Janelle, all you stripper water. Yes, this is my stripper water. In case you weren't here earlier, I got a free bottle, a complimentary bottle from the Peppermint Hippo, which is a strip club in Vegas. I got that because I don't frequent strip clubs, but I do drive people there as an Uber driver, and some of these places you get what's called a kickback, cash money, but you also get free water apparently. So there you go. What can I say? Let's see. I'm skipping down a lot, so if I skip over something, like I said, don't get offended by it. It's just I have to skip, otherwise I will be 55 minutes behind in the chat. David in Grand Prairie says, neck crooked from before you get in there. That's my trick. Okay. There you go. That way they don't see the ogling so much. I think I was doing some side eye, maybe. I don't know. So much for not being obvious, is it? Yeah. Something like that. A little something like that. Go a little something like this. So, yeah, go a little something like this. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Mike Mayberry says, Mr. Spock, don't get me started on the brilliance of Ralph Bakshi. Did you know he worked on 60s Spider-Man cartoon? We got some cartoon trivia. Paul Sharky Manion says, someone made a good comparison of Trump and Napoleon this week. Trump is in the island of Elba stage, plotting his comeback at Marie Largo. Well, the thing is, Trump hasn't been banished. He hasn't been what do you call it when they banish you? There's a little more official word for that. Quite yet. I mean, he's running for president, for God's sakes, as the Republican nominee. Janelle says, sure, Trucker John. Okay. Robin M, cool. Kickbacks and H2O. Yeah. I'll take it. Water and money, Nick Rich, 1241. Oh, I'm only a minute behind. Well, I was really skipping down a lot. So, Mr. Fox says, yes, I remember seeing his name in the end credits. Okay, about this Boschke guy. Good old Boschke. Wes Webb says, they wouldn't be up there if they didn't want you to look at them. That's not the point. The point is that I was ogling. That's the point. Mr. Bob Newell, you always skip over my best material. I'm sorry, Mr. Bob Newell. I know. Probably gold. I'm probably skipping over some gold there. Hey, Cat's here, I guess. Cat. Hello, Cat. Thanks for being here, by the way. MJ Daniel, I remember that one. Hanna-Barbera, I think. Quick Draw McGraw. I remember that one. Touche Turtle, Wally Gator. Yeah, those are all good. Robin M says, Roxanne, hey you, how many people break out and start seeing Roxanne when they see you? I'm sure it's everyone. Even I do it. Exile, there you go. Thank you, Robin M. One of the words that left my head, apparently, as you get old, there are words that just leave you. Thank you. Now it's back in. I don't know how long it will stay. Roxanne Outfield, always loved Johnny Quest. Me too. I didn't say that earlier. Johnny Quest, one of my absolute favorites. I love Johnny Quest. And was it Haji or his little friend there? And the Bandit, the dog. And they were always on these cool adventures. And and you're a little kid, and you can be like, you're living sort of through them, like doing all this cool like spy shit, or whatever. Yeah, it was a great show. Great cartoon. Mr. Spock, don't get me going on old Hercules cartoon. Over here, Herc, over here. Every episode. I seem to recall that. Robin M says, Randy calls it Magaloco. Welcome to Magaloco. MG Daniel says, Bakshi and Frazetta did an animated movie together in 81. Fire and Ice, not bad. I think I may have seen that. I think I may have. Mr. Bob Newell, do you own Dodgers gear? Yes, sometimes I wear it on their show. I didn't wear any today. I was going to, and then I forgot. Robin M, laughing out loud, don't you feel awesome? I'm not sure who that's referring to. MJ Daniel says that was another good one. Maybe MJ's talking about Johnny Quest, I guess. Nick Rich, exit stage left, Snafflepuss. Wasn't there a Snafflepuss? Generator Dr. Quest abducted Haji. Haji. Yeah. West Webb, a lot of it is geographical. Where you live depends on who you are most likely to vote for or vice versa. I don't know if that's true. I'm from California. I've always voted for Democrats. I have friends and family born and raised in California that always vote for Republicans. Robin, that was referring to Roxanne. Oh, alrighty. Alrighty then. Alright, so anyhow, did you guys see this? Did you guys see Kamala Harris? Right there. She made the cover of Vogue, apparently. If this is true. Oh, God dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. I hate when this does this. Now it's crooked. Look at there. Kamala Harris making the cover of Vogue magazine. Look at there. Donald Trump has got to be so jealous. He's so jelly. You know he is. You know he is. I was hoping that Kimchi would drop in. I was going to show you guys. Remember, I made this little thing about kimchi, and it didn't come out right because you couldn't. I had zoomed in on it so much you couldn't see it. But this is what it came from. It was from that restaurant there. That's in Las Vegas, right off the strip. And so that's that. So, but Kimchi is ignoring us today. Next time she comes in, I'll show her that picture. But yeah, look at there. Kamala Harris on Vogue magazine. Madam President right there. Vote blue for all that's dear to you, folks. Vote blue for all that's dear to you. Let's get Kamala Harris in there. Tim Walz. Let's keep the Senate. Let's get back the House. Let's get down to some business. Let's get some business done. Paul Sharkymanian says, funny joke, the British comedian Tommy Cooper used to play on Taxi Drivers, was a slip a little something in their tube pocket and say, have a drink on me. It was a tea bag. That's kind of funny. Gino Maynard said, Rankin and Bass cartoons, movies were great. Don't know if I know those ones. I mean, if you told me what they were, I would probably know who they were. But I don't remember Rankin and Bass. Nick Rich, Kamala keeps me calm. Mike H. Marshall, I'm not sure if my puppy likes cats yet. Sometimes you gotta just put them together, and they'll learn to be friends. I think usually. You know. West Webb, he needs to be on GQ or something. GQ, I don't think would ever have frumpy, old, fucking orange makeup face Trump on their cover. Roxanne Kamala is one classy lady. I believe so. I agree. Mike H. Vote blue all the way through. Quite the turnaround for Mike H. Good. I'm good to see it. Good. I'm glad to see that. West Webb, ignore the chatter. You know who to vote for. Go do it. It's not real catchy, but yeah, I'm there. I'm with that. I'm with you on that. Gina Maynard, Melania is on Hustler. I thought she is a hustler. She might as well be on it. Marcia says Arizona sunflowers. Oh yes, the interweb causes that. Remember going snow sledding, playgrounds, swimming pools, riding bicycles, outdoor activities galore. Yeah, we have become a lot more sedentary, I think, unfortunately. At least I have, that's for sure. MJ Daniel Rankin Bass did an animated The Hobbit with singing. Oh. Sounds interesting. Paul Sharkey, it's the way I tell him. West Webb, we didn't even have blue candidates in Winnebago County elections. The rural areas always beat the cities. I need a better chair. I need to get me a better chair. Yeah, I don't know about your Illinois politics over there. West says Dems don't bother to run when they know they will lose. If Trucker John ran in Illinois, I bet you I could win. I bet you I could. I just don't want to live in Illinois, that's all. That was the last of my stripper water. I'm going to have to get another ride over there. Get another one. Gina Maynard, Trump on cover of TARP Monthly. TARP Monthly. Who was it that kept asking me about the big giant Trump statue thingy that was in Vegas? The naked Trump statue? Someone kept asking me about it. So I looked it up, and apparently it's not here anymore. They actually have to load that thing up onto 18-wheelers. And I guess it was in Phoenix, and then they had it up here for a little bit. I never even heard about it till after it was already gone, I think. It's been gone for a while now. And I think they're shipping it, according to what I read, somewhere back east, like Massachusetts or something. So if you're looking for that, that's where it's going to be. Arizona Sunflower says Kamala is gorgeous. It's more her personality than just her looks. She's serious when she needs to be, but can also have a good laugh. Trump's jealous of that, so he makes fun of her. But I like her. Yeah, I like her too. And I don't know if Trump can feel jealousy. I think he's a sociopath, so I don't know what he feels other than. I mean, jealousy might be one of the only things that he does feel, I guess, because it's all about him. His whole thing. I think I'm going to do, what was Hal talking about J.D. Vance making this, I guess, big no-no of, what do you call it, bellying the camera? I might be doing the same thing right now. I've got to readjust a little bit in the chair here because the chair is getting very uncomfortable. I may be committing a big sin here. Let's see if this works better. There, now I'm a little bit higher up, and it does feel a little more comfortable. I just stuck a pillow under my ass. That might be TMI. I don't know. But yeah, I like Kamala, and yeah, and Trump is jealous. Like I said, he's a sociopath. He can't feel he has no feelings for other people. He only has feelings for himself. That's the whole narcissism thing. He might have some about affection or maybe for his own kids, but that's only because those are his kids, and he sees them maybe as extensions of himself. It all comes back to the self every single time. Everything about him is just caring only about himself and no one else. And I think that makes for a pretty shitty president. And we saw that. We have 4 years of him being a pretty shitty president. We already know, folks, this ain't, there's no mystery anymore. We know what a shitty guy he is and what a shitty president he was. There should be no question about that. And no one should even want him in there again. Nick Rich says, try standing a few minutes every half hour, John. Yeah, but I'm not sure if that makes for a good show. A really good show. Now, I could do like Hal. He stands when he does his show, but his thing is set up to do that. I think he has like a little stand-up desk. Maybe if I had a stand-up desk, I could do it. But I don't have at this point in time, I don't have a stand-up desk. But maybe someday I will do that. That might be a better way of doing the show. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? MJ Daniel says, Dems outnumber ours here in Washington, but I am still nervous. Well, Dems outnumber ours, I think, almost everywhere, except for like in these districts, these pockets and stuff. But overall, across the country, there are way more Democrats than there are Republicans. The problem is a lot of Democrats don't vote for some odd reason. We need to get everybody to vote every time, every election. And it's not that hard, usually. I mean, I guess I've been spoiled. I've lived in states where it's been very easy to vote. California, very, very easy to vote. Nevada, it's just like California, very easy to vote. I haven't lived in some of these really red states where they make it, I guess, very difficult. So I guess I shouldn't say it's so easy, but I think it's pretty easy to vote. I don't really buy these excuses of people not voting. Just admit it. You don't want to vote. So, just don't lie. Don't make up excuses. You don't want to vote for whatever reason, then just say it. Just say you don't want to vote. Westwood Trucker John knows what I'm talking about. He just likes to fight like football. Okay. MJ Daniel, envy, his ego will not allow him to be gracious or share the spotlight. Huge sociopath. He is a total huge sociopath. West Webb, everybody up and stretch. Yeah, that's probably, maybe we should all, do a little stretching. Move around a little bit, stand up. Paul Shrugging, was that sound effects? I thought it was Trump. I don't know. What, me standing up and going, Arizona Sunflowers, he feels anger, but I think it's jealousy. He can't allow himself to be jealous, though, so it comes from out of his anger, like the McDonald job. West Webb, Chicago will never go red as long as there is a gerrymander and electoral college. Mr. Spock, yep, 100%. Nick Rich, gotta keep moving, can't sit for hours. House standing for hours makes my back ache, though. I gotta keep moving. Gotta keep moving. I'm like a shark. Like a shark in the ocean. I gotta keep moving. Myra Little, it helps. Nick Rich, desk platforms are relatively inexpensive. $100. Just all I gotta do is take 2 people to the Peppermint Hippo, and there it is. I got my $100. Some of those places pay $80 kickbacks. It pretty much goes by what their cover charge is. They're pretty much just giving you the cover charge. Because I think that Spearmint Rhino, which is another, and they have Spearmint Rhinos, I think, all over the country, right? That's a strip club. And they pay $80 a head. And I think that's the cover charge. Now, Spearmint Rhino, Peppermint Hippo, there's a 50. So they're all, a little different. There are some places that pay over $100 a head, $110 a head. So, man, I need to get a scam going. You guys, you need to send people my way. I'll take them to the strip clubs for free. I'll give free rides. Although I think you're not supposed to do that. That's the thing. I think there's some sort of, I don't know, thing you're not supposed to do that or whatever. I don't know. So let's keep that on a down low. Witchy Woman. There's Witchy Woman. Hello, beautiful genius, mother drugglers. Overslept on new meds, but my neck doesn't hurt, and I love to sleep. Well, look at that. I was just talking about your ears must have been ringing. I was just talking about you, Witchy Woman. I was just showing the picture there. That's that. The other day, remember, I tried to make a kimchi because that was your former name. I was trying to make a little kimchi thing, and that's the picture I got it from. Well, actually, I took a new picture, but that's the place. And then I zoomed in on it on just kimchi, but then it was so zoomed in that you really couldn't read it. So anyhow, just so that you know, that's the reference point. I don't know of where I took that picture. And every time I drive by there and I see kimchi, I think of Witchy Woman. You know, so that's just the way it goes, you know. Keith Felice says my Apple Watch reminds me to stand. I do too. I have that on my thing too. It says time to stand. And then apparently I stand enough, then it goes it'll be like, congratulations, stand time goal achieved. That's the only goal I ever achieve. I don't get my steps goal in, and whatever other. I think there's another goal. I think it just might be minutes of exercise. I never get those two, but I do get my stand goal in there. Quite proud of that, by the way. Arizona Sunflower says, well, they've sent me mail-in ballots after age 65, so it's really easy to vote, at least after 65. I'm all for that. Yeah, get your vote, get your ballot in. I got mine. I'm going to fill mine out and drop mine off. Maybe today I'll do it. I don't know. Maybe today. Wes Webb says, wow. We had a hotel next to a massage parlor, lingerie, modeling agency. You could take a model home with you or around the corner to the hotel. Oh, model. I get it. Witchy Woman, I'm in your head now, John. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're living rent-free in my head. Is that how that goes? Is that how that goes? Marcia says, Arizona Sunflowers also for disabled people of all ages, mail-in ballots are literally life-saving. And I think everyone should have access to mail-in. MJ Daniel, my butt reminds me to stand and stretch. Hey, Brenda Triplets here. Hey, Brenda, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back to the Driver's Lounge. Good to see you. Brenda says, I'm hand delivering my mail-in ballot to our county courthouse elections office because we are transporting many voters on election day and to early voting. We can all do something. Yeah. So much we can do. You know, drive people to the polls, drive people to the ballot boxes, knock on doors, do phone banking. You know, there's all kinds of stuff. Mail out postcards. So much stuff we can do. Richard's here, 6 a.m. in Australia. Well, top of the morning to you, Richard. Thanks for being here, by the way. Good to see you. Nick says it's 101, so I'm only 2 minutes behind. I don't know what I was doing. Richard says Right Side Broadcasting Network has banned me from the chat room for making derogatory comments about Trump. That's because they can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth, Tom. That wasn't supposed to be in there. Wes Webb says, kind of funny, John doesn't always read exactly what we write. Prostitution is against the law, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know what that has to do with anything. MJ Daniel says, was Rudy G giving a press conference out front? Out front where? Of the Four Seasons Lawn and Garden shop? Mr. Spock, I used to win $50 gift certificates on a radio game show, Venus and Mars, Guys Against the Women. 3 general knowledge questions, could only win once a month. I kept winning and coached my ex to win every. Mr. Bob Newell, I forgot. What's the rule on a pair of 8s? Double down. Just double down. Marsha West Webb, not in Nevada. What about Nevada now? What West Webb say? Oh, no, prostitution is illegal in Nevada. I mean, well, it's illegal in Clark County, which is where Las Vegas is. It's not illegal out in the hinterlands, I guess. Apparently, in these other counties that are way the fuck out. Like the nearest one here would be Pahrump, which is about 55, almost 60 miles from Las Vegas, where they have brothels, and there are some other brothels like up and down the state. Yeah, so it's legal there. They're weird. It's like they're like way out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know who goes out there. I mean, I remember driving by them as a truck driver. On some, these are just remote highways like 95 and 93 and so 58, or 57. And you would see these brothels, and some of them look like, I don't even know if they were open still. I mean, I think they saw better days at some point. I think the heyday. I don't think anyone goes out there to these places, even truck drivers. I don't think, and they look. You don't even know if they're open, or sometimes maybe a light's on. You're like, is it open? I don't know. It's weird. It's just really weird. I think they still keep them open, because I think maybe there might be a thing where they just want to keep their licenses alive, so they're technically open. But I don't know if they ever have any business at some of these places. The one at Pahrump does. That one's they've got I think a chicken ranch, and they've got, I forget the other one. They're right next door to each other. I forget what it's called. And I guess that one gets fairly good business. And people either drive here, or they limo here, or they get shuttles or whatever. They go out to those places. And that's like 50 miles. So it's like an hour drive or so. That's the closest one. And that, I think, those, I guess, do okay business. But those other ones are like way out, like in Death Valley, or not in Death Valley, but out towards Death Valley and through the state. There's nothing in the state, people-wise, when you get out of Clark County, and then of course in Reno, up in is that Reno County? I forget, whatever the county is in Reno, and Sparks. Those are the really only 2 big population centers of Nevada. The rest of Nevada is just cactus and coyotes, and I don't know how those places stay open. Let's see. Richard says in Australia they only go by the popular vote. I wish we did that here. I think we should do that here. And a lot of us do that. Mozart's here. Hey, Mozart. Good to see you. The sex talk has brought out Mozart, I see. So sex work is work. Yeah. That it is. Mr. Spock month, I noticed. Oh, every month. Okay. Picking up where we left off. Mr. Spock says month. And I do, as I recall, the sentence just stopped at every. So every month. He coached his wife, just as a refresher on what the previous post was. Mr. Spock was winning this trivia contest every month. He could only win once a month, guys versus gals, and then he would coach his wife and she would play every month. And I noticed my question kept getting harder, but I kept winning every month. Finally, 7 months into it, I get a totally bizarre question. I said, "Who the F would know that?" Instantly banned. Look at there. You fell into their trap, Mr. Spock, because they wanted you to be banned because they were sick of you always winning. They wanted to give other people a chance. So they set you up, and you fell for it. Min J. Daniel, massage parlor. Well, they're called brothels, but I guess you could call it a massage parlor. Let's see, Mr. Bob Newell, who will be on SNL tonight? Kamala or Tim? I have no idea. No, I do not know. Are they gonna appear? Are they not gonna appear? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. You know, no one knows. Who knows? I guess someone knows, but I don't know. Witchy Woman says Kamala became Maya Rudolph is amazing. Maya Rudolph, when she does her Kamala, I swear to God, if you close your eyes, I mean, she looks a lot like her, but if you close your eyes and just listen, you cannot tell the difference. I mean, she has the same voice, the same exact tone, and everything. It's amazing. Mozart, Art Bell's old hangout. Yeah, he moved to Pahrump, I believe, and was broadcasting his show from Pahrump. Pahrump. Wes Webb, it is so funny, but you can hire a private model escort guide. I don't know about the guide part, but yeah, you can hire escorts because you're hiring them for their time. You're not hiring them for any sex that may occur. I guess that is the loophole or whatever you want to call it. MJ Daniel, Pahrump, home of Art Bell. Yep. Witchy Woman, playing, not became. CN says hi. Saying hi to me. Hi, CN. I see you. Good to see you. I know you were in here. You've been in here, and thank you so much for hanging out with us. Richard says, "Yeah, A Few Good Men movie when Jack Nicholson yells, 'You want the truth? You can't handle the truth, Tom.'" They edit the Tom part out, but you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. Let's see. Bob Newell, did I tell you about the time in Atlantic City when I was approached by two ladies? No, Bob Newell. Do tell. Witchy Woman says, "Spill the tea, Bob." Yeah, spill the tea. Robin M, the Bunny Ranch. I think the Bunny Ranch is up near Reno. Funny how I know all these places, huh? I think maybe not. Maybe the Bunny Ranch is next to the Chicken Ranch in Pahrump. Maybe that was it? Is that what you're saying, Robin M? That could be. Maybe it is the Bunny Ranch and the Chicken Ranch, right next to each other. Because up there in Pahrump, I don't know. I'm not sure. Mozart, Chicken Ranch is a euphemism, but also that's the name of the place in Pahrump. I'm pretty sure we could Google it. I was going to say Google. We should Google it. We could Google it. I'm pretty sure that the brothels in Pahrump, one is called the Chicken Ranch, I believe, and possibly the Bunny Ranch too. I don't know. Should I Google it? Do you guys really want me to Google it? Do we really care? I don't know. Witchy Woman says, "No one ever offered me a line off a stripper's ass. I feel some FOMO." Yeah, really, what's the deal, man? You haven't really lived, Witchy Woman. You really haven't lived until you've done a big, long railer right off a nice, firm, little round stripper's ass. You just haven't lived. I guess I haven't lived either because I've never done that. Only in my mind. I'm a legend in my own mind. Mr. Spock says it was comical at Mozart. I called into another radio thing. Are you smarter than forgot his name? I call in and say, you're at an advantage as I just had my wake and bake. I answer 4 out of 5. Nice story, bro. Nice story. Mozart, it says in Australia, you must vote. I wish we did that. I don't know. To me, that kind of goes against the whole kind of freedom of choice thing. You know? Just saying, I thought we had a freedom of choice. And if you're forcing people to vote, I think that's not choice. Just saying. I'm just saying. Don't mean to, burst your bubble. But I'm just saying. Paul Sharkey Man says, I hope the good people of these states are given all the help they need to vote. Yeah, but we can hope and we can wish, but we just know that the red states here in the United States, the red states, that's the Republican states, are doing everything in their power to make it as difficult as they can, because they know that lower turnouts help them and higher turnouts help us, the Democrats. Statistically over time, has shown that. Mr. Bob Newell, why haven't I been blocked? I don't know. You're got to try a little harder, I guess. Arizona Sunflower, except for if you're out in the sticks, like the one they used to show on the something channel. Don't remember the name. Oh, I remember the something channel. I agree. Get rid of the Electoral College. Hillary Clinton would have won. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah. Mozart says, my Mormon parents wouldn't let me see the best little whorehouse in Texas. Even though we were Dolly Parton fans and Burt Reynolds fans, I didn't understand why. Probably the whole whorehouse thing, maybe. Hey, Brenda Triplett says, our voting guides are great here because they include info on the judges. And that is great info to have, because, you don't want to vote for some MAGA judge, right? So, yeah, that's great to have that voter guide there. Witchy Woman says, Bob, I'll block you if you want for the bragging rights. Just ask Wes. Hey, Nick Rich gifted a membership. Thank you, Nick, so much for gifting that. I love it when you guys do that, because it's always fun to see who gets it. And Brenda Triplett got it. She's the recipient, the proud recipient, I hope, of a Trucker John membership. And I hope you guys will keep your memberships and keep them going, because we do a thing called Members Only Monday, although this Monday I might not be able to do it. Or at least not at 11. Just so be on the lookout. I might be able to sneak one in maybe before or after Howl on Monday. Maybe after. Maybe we'll do a members only, but I don't think it's going to be at 11 a.m. I'm busy on that day, and I don't think I'll be able to do it. Unfortunately. But maybe, but be a look. I'm going to try to get one in on sometime on Monday. So all you members out there, we got members only Mondays, and it's worth the member. It's worth the price of admission. So I've been told. West Web, John got his photo taken with two showgirls. Yeah, I did. Remember, I even posted that, and I had a story. I told the whole story about it. Arizona Sunflowers, the escorts basically go on a date with you. Yeah, right. They cost a lot of money, and there's no happy ending either. Really? Well, then what's the point? No. Could I just get a cheap one, just to go to a movie with? That's all I need. Anyhow, whatever. I guess that's called a girlfriend. Witchy Woman says, I knew a writer who worked at the Bunny Ranch. She is a character unto herself. I bet you she is. Nick Rich, are there places for ladies to indulge their whims in Nevada? Yeah, it's called the Trucker John Show. No. You mean like gigolos? Like a gigolo palace? I don't know. I wouldn't know. Paul Sharkymania, once a taxi driver, always a taxi driver. Gotta go, my friends. Take care and have fun. Well, thank you, Paul Sharkymania, for being here and for hanging out. We are going to shut this shit down pretty soon here. We've got over 2 hours. We're in overtime now, folks. This is overtime. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the show. We're at over 3,430 40 or so, 33, 38 or something. Thanks for being here, and this helped the show grow. I really want to get some sort of a plaque to hang up from YouTube. I think they should give you a plaque. They should give you a 3,000. No, I don't know. I guess they don't start giving out plaques till you get 100K. So will we ever get there? I don't know. Who knows? Bob Newell says, I started as a troll. Now I'm a super fan. Well, thank you, Bob Newell. I appreciate that. I know you were a little trolly, a little on the trolly side. But you're hanging out with us. You've stuck it out. And yeah. We don't mind you being here. And you're getting along. And, you know, you're asking me lots of important blackjack questions. You know, if you're ever playing blackjack, you need to know, like, what do I do if I get a pair of eights? You got to know. And you're coming to me. You're coming to the right guy. You double down. No. Always split your eights and your aces. Always, without a doubt. Split your aces and your aces. That's just the automatic. But you know that. I know, because you were being funny. In democracy, you have responsibility and rights. Yeah, but I don't think you should be forced to vote, okay? Mozart, freedom is not the ultimate American ideal. That's stupid. You're not stupid. Thank you. But that frame of thinking about politics is, in my humble opinion. Well, I'm not stupid, and you're not stupid, but I think what you just said was stupid. I don't think what I said was stupid. I don't think people should be forced to vote in a free society. You can't force people to vote. That is stupid, okay? If we want to start talking about stupid, to force people to vote, that is stupid. If you're going to call yourself a free country, you don't force people to do anything other than follow laws about not hurting other people. Basically, all of our laws are based on not hurting other people, whether it's physically, emotionally, financially. That's what our laws are based on, for the most part, is not hurting other people. Like I said, financially, emotionally, and financially. Other than that, you do not force people to vote. That is ridiculous on its face. And if we're going to throw this stupid word around, that is fucking stupid. To force people to vote and call yourself a fucking free country. That is fucking ridiculous. Mozart, Americans don't have a right to vote. That's not freedom. Maybe that depends on how you interpret the Constitution. I believe Americans do have the right to vote. And I know Tom Hartman talks about that shit all the time, and that it should be codified into the Constitution. Maybe so. But women were given the right to vote. Blacks were given the right to vote, right? So it stands to reason everyone has the fucking right to vote. The voting age was lowered to the age of 18. How can you say people don't have a right to vote? How are they making all these things, all these constitutional amendments to allow people to vote if we don't have the right to vote? But forcing people to vote, to make it a law that you must vote, to me is fucking ridiculous. And if you want to call me stupid, fine, whatever. I'm just skipping down in the chat. Mozart, you're forced to get a driver's license if you want to drive. Driving is not a right. Driving is a privilege. I guess you're going to say voting is not a right. I guess that's why you say voting is not a right. Just so you can use that comparison. That's twisted. That's twisted logic, my friend. And it's a false equivalency. The government is not about force, Mozart. I don't know where the fuck you're getting this shit. The government is not about force. The government can use force to enforce laws. It's not about force. It's about governing. It's about running a country. It's about keeping the country from anarchy, from being in anarchy. Brenda Trippett, bring back civics classes. Witchy woman, I like the idea of making everyone vote. I think the fine for not working in Australia is only $80. I think he meant for not voting. Again, I disagree. It should be, people should vote of their own volition. You know what when I think of forced voting, I think of Russia. I think of places like that where they have 100% turnout and Vladimir Putin wins every election by a landslide. Is that what we want here in America? I don't think so. I know you literally said that I'm not stupid, but I'm saying what you said was stupid, okay? I'm saying that what you said, what part of what you said was stupid. I know what you said. Okay, comparing voting with vaccines is a total false comparison. And who was forcing anyone to get vaccines? I don't remember being forced to get a vaccine. Who was forcing anyone to get vaccines? Vaccines were made available. And there may have been businesses that said, you cannot come to work here if you don't get one. That's not the government forcing vaccines on people. Your comparisons are totally fucking off. To try to get every little thing about driving and about vaccines and try to compare that to voting is fucking absurd. It's absurd, Mozart. Yeah, you're out. I don't give a fuck. Go. I'm getting it from when, here's Mozart. I'm getting it from when taught U.S. law and society at the university level for years. Okay, dude, I'm out. Have a better one, and I'll try again next time. Fuck me. You know what? Get the fuck out then. If you're going to be such a little panty waste. And I don't give a fuck if you got a fucking big fucking degree and you teach at the fucking college level. Fuck you, man. What? You probably have a shitty. You're probably a shitty teacher. Mozart. The GOP disenfranchises as many voters as they can every election cycle. Oh yeah. So what? Mike Mayberry, forced voting seems un-American to me. Me too. Mozart, Australia forces people to vote, John. We don't want to end up like them. I don't give a fuck about Australia. You want to know the truth? Nothing against the Australians. That's their country. They can run their country how the fuck they want to run it. I like some of the things they do as far as gun buybacks and shit like that. That doesn't mean I like that they force people to vote. It's a free fucking country. If I don't want to vote, I won't vote. Fuck you. What happened to fucking that idea? I suppose you're all for forcing women to carry pregnancies a term too, right? If we're going to be making all these false comparisons and false equivalencies, maybe that's what you're for. You want to force women to carry a term, pregnancy to term, even though it might kill them. Is that where you stand, Mozart? Delta Dawn says, no one said forcing vaccines. Geez, well, that's what Mozart said. What did Brenda say? It was a good point. Did I miss Brenda's? Brenda says, Roger's son says that they are scrubbing voter rolls in 60 counties and swing states. That's what we should be more concerned about, is about Republicans scrubbing voter rolls, knocking people off the voting rolls. Mike Maybeer, I haven't seen TJ this pissed before. Sometimes it happens when people say stupid shit in my chat that have big, highfalutin, apparently college degrees and teach at the college level. It makes me really wonder about our colleges. And maybe I didn't miss out when I didn't get my degree. Maybe I'm not missing out on anything. Which woman you cannot, you can just not vote for anyone and show up. You are forced to pretend to vote. Nick Rich, expletives have their place, and this is one of those places. West Webb, really, don't vote. What happened to the lesser of two evils? You have to make a choice. You really morally just have to cast your stone. What does one have to do to the other? When we talk about voting for the lesser of two evils, we're talking about basically we're talking about the undecided people, the people that say they're undecided and they don't know what to do or whatever. And if it comes down to that, then a way to make your choice is to vote for the lesser of two evils. That's a completely separate issue than saying everyone should be required by law to vote or you will face some sort of penalty. Those things are not related in any way whatsoever, as far as I see it. The lesser of two evils and forcing people to vote are two completely separate subjects and are not related. Other than that, we're talking about voting. But other than that, they are not related whatsoever. So your point, either I missed it or your point was just way off the mark. Mr. Spock says, should be like Harrison Bergeron, except the opposite. Instead of making people equally stupid, prop people up to be the best they can. One set of logical laws, Brave New World 0.02. Dr. Don, I just meant it should be just encouraged. Yeah, vaccinations, I don't remember there being any mandate that I had to get vaccinated from the government. There may have been businesses, there may have been, places that said that you can't come in here unless you're vaccinated, stuff like that. That's not the government forcing everyone. You could have the choice. You could say, okay, I'm not getting vaccinated, and I'm just going to not go to that place. I'm going to stay home or whatever. And that wasn't talking to me about you, Delta Dawn. That was, I think, something that Maz Art said about. He was trying to make this comparison that about the government forcing vaccinations, and that somehow meant that it was okay to force people to vote. Stupid. This is when smart people say stupid shit, and that's what I think Maz Art did. He's probably smart, has a degree, teaches at the college level or university level, but I think he's saying some really stupid shit. West Webb voter rolls are frozen. Trucker John knows we like it when he gets fired up. Wes, shh. Gina Maynard says the Aboriginal might have different opinion about Australian freedom. Probably the same as the Native Americans here might have a different idea about American freedom. I don't know. Mr. Spock, guava gelato time. Which woman voting is a right, and morally and responsibility. Look, I'm always telling people to vote. I think everyone should vote. No matter who, no matter who, but if you vote for Republicans, you vote for Democrats, you vote for third parties. I don't care. Obviously, I'm a Democrat, and I want Democrats to win. And I'm always saying, vote blue for all that's dear to you. Trademark Trucker John. And I'm always hoping for a big blue wave, big blue tsunami, all that kind of stuff. But I'm always encouraging everyone to vote. Everyone who is eligible to vote, 18, U.S. citizen, all that shit, I encourage everyone to take the time to vote. And I think, by and large, it's not that difficult. Even in the states that make it difficult, I still don't think it's that difficult. I think you can overcome those challenges. You can get through those hurdles if you really try it. And at the end of the day, I don't really think it's that difficult or taxing or exhausting. People always like to use the exhausting. I'm exhausted. This campaign I'm exhausted. This campaign season, I'm exhausted. I really don't think it's that exhausting, or it shouldn't be. It's not, because it's not that difficult. And it really shouldn't be that difficult to find out some of the issues, some of what the candidates stand for and what they're behind. It really doesn't take that much time, especially today, where we're able to look stuff up pretty easily. It shouldn't be that difficult, and it shouldn't be exhausting. And I encourage everyone to vote. I don't believe you should force people to vote. That's what Russia does. That's what some South American countries do, I believe. Or maybe, to have this illusion of democracy and freedom, and this bullshit. It's total fucking bullshit when Vladimir Putin keeps winning every time by a landslide or whatever. So I believe people should have the freedom to vote. I encourage everyone to vote. But I don't think, and that goes on with Delta Dawn's word, using the word encouragement. I encourage everyone to vote. Everyone who's eligible to vote, I encourage them to vote. I do not think you should be facing a fine or any type of penalty or punishment if you don't vote. Just vote. And I don't think we should really ever have like 100% turnout. I really don't, because that raises a red flag. If you've got 100% people turnout, there's something wrong. I think there's something that's a red flag. Now, would I like to see more turnout than the New York City mayor race, where didn't they say only 12% or 18% of the voters voted? Okay, that's horseshit. And I think that, that's not good either. That's just people being lazy and just not caring. And then when some shit happens, when you get a shit bag like the guy they got, well, you fucking kind of deserve it because you didn't vote. But I think when we just barely get over 50% in a lot of the turnouts and things, that's not good. Most of your local elections, like where I've been living in the last 30 years before here in Palmdale, Lancaster area, a lot of the county and the city elections, yeah, it was always like 12%, 18%. I don't know if they ever even got over 20% to show up. which is sad and is pathetic. That is pathetic, but I still don't think there should be any type of law that would force anyone to vote, even with those pathetic numbers. I think that just means that we, as concerned citizens, should do a better job of encouraging others to vote. And I think the parties, especially the Democratic Party, but any party, should do a better job of turning out the vote. And it takes involvement by the parties and by the members of the parties, just the regular people, to go out and knock on doors, phone banks, send out postcards, whatever you got to do. That's how you get voter turnout. Not by forcing people to vote. That's stupid. You don't force people to vote. You do the work to encourage people to get out and vote. You give them a reason to get up and vote. You tell them why they should vote and what it means to their communities. From the local levels right on up to all the way up to the president. You tell them what it means and what's at stake. That's how you get voter turnout, not by forcing them. It just goes against everything that I believe in about living in a democratic society that is supposed to be about our freedom of choice. If I don't want to vote, I'm not going to vote. Now, like I just said, I encourage everyone to vote. I think everyone should vote. And I think if we consistently got 60, 65%, 70, 75%, that's sort of a sweet spot. I mean, that would be, people turning out. Let's say you got 65, 70% of eligible voters to turn out. Those would be great turnouts. I don't think we need 80 or 90 or 100. But, and like I said, 100% is a fucking red flag. So that's how I feel. I know I fucking lost Mozart forever, probably. That's how I do. That's how I roll. I think I've chased away so many people because of these outbursts. But it's kind of like the story that Trump likes to tell about. But how does he say it? But ma'am, you knew that I was the scorpion or whatever. Anyhow, guys, I guess I should probably end the show before I lose any more followers. Fowler followers, I guess. Delta Dawn says, I meant voting should be encouraged in schools from an early age so people don't group with this shitty attitude. It doesn't matter. They're all corrupt. I hear that all the time. Yeah, that's true. I hear that too, Delta Dawn. That whole why bother voting? They're all just corrupt. It's like they're all, yeah, I hear that too. And yeah, I agree with that. Rob 4419, and if you don't vote, don't say you're a victim of society because you're mad. Yeah, I've always thought if you don't vote, then you don't really have the right to complain. But then people say, well, I have a right to, I have First Amendment, I can do it. I know I'm not talking about First Amendment. I'm just saying, like, what gives you, like, if you don't vote, and then you complain about the people that won, and maybe you didn't like them and you didn't want them, then I don't know. It's like, do you see the problem? Maybe the problem is there's too many people like, this fictitious person that I'm talking about. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's so many of those that didn't vote. You see how it's all sort of, it perpetuates itself. It perpetuates itself. Laura M., democracy is at stake. West Webb, don't cry, John. Not one tear. Not one tear was shed today. Nick Rich, 3430 plus subscribers. That number may go down today, Nick Rich. That number may go down. Mike Mayberry, I agree with you, TJ. You haven't lost me yet. Well, thank you. Witchy Woman, HAW. Have a good weekend at Aaron. Oh, is Aaron leaving? Oh, got to run. Hey, Aaron. Well, thanks for being here. And I am going way over. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes. I probably should have stopped a half an hour ago, and I wouldn't have alienated half of my audience, probably. Robin M says, it's your party. You can express yourself if you want to, level out. Besides, I agree with you. Thank you, Robin M. West Webb in Illinois, the corruption is pretty much true. You can't run without money or very good backing. Well, I think that's probably true about just about everywhere. You got to have money and backing. Unfortunately, I think in some cases. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here before I like I say, before I lose everybody. All right, guys. So let's Monday, members only Monday is questionable at this time. Just look at the community thing on YouTube. I'll let you guys know if I'm going to be on, or it might be a later show. I don't know. But then of course Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, we'll be right back here. Where, who knows? You might be the lucky one. It just might be your turn that I call you stupid. No, I don't know. Yeah, be humble. Yeah, I know, Steve. I need to work on that, I guess. But you guys are great. The guys who've stuck with me, you guys are great. And I'm glad you guys are here. I mean, you guys make the show possible. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this. So, and you guys have helped the show grow from just a handful of people to over 3,400. So I thank you for that. And make sure you like, subscribe, share. And maybe that's a good selling. You can tell people, hey, go on to Trucker John. He might yell at you and call you stupid. Some people like that kind of thing, So, anyhow. All right, guys. I guess that's it for today. And I have been sitting for a while, and my hammies have been kind of tightening up. So I really need to go out and stretch my hamstrings. I guess they're strings, and you want to stretch them. So, there you go. I'll be seeing you guys later.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So high of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kill. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here.